Here are the tests on my 1984 American Standard Cadet. And there's an airplane. I believe it says on the liner here in very clear print to set the water level 5/8 of an inch below the overflow top, but that does not account for the foam liner, so I set it all the way to the top, and even then it still cuts off a little too soon when it flushes. And of course it's using a standard flapper, so I will show you guys a flush and then let's see how it does on tests. The flush is pretty nice and it's got some power to it, but the flapper does close a little too soon. For the first test, let's see if it can take a washcloth. It'll do perfectly. Did perfectly, as expected. Now, let's see if it can take a grocery bag. I think it'll do well. It did perfectly. Now, let's see if it can take the washcloth and the grocery bag together. Honestly, I don't think it will take this. And at the point I'm saying this, I was right. It might clear itself now or in 2 seconds or in the next flush, but it still did not take it. So I'm going to wait for the tank to refill and give it another flush. And of course all the water drained out. It definitely failed. Let's try that test again and see if it can do better. I don't think it will, but it's worth a shot. Well, there you have it. It took a washcloth and a grocery bag and one flush without help. Now, let's see if it can take a dish towel. I really don't think this will go anywhere. Yeah, I really don't think it can pass that. I'm going to try the old dish towel now and see if I can make it take that one. I think it can pass this. It struggled a little bit, but it went through just fine. Overall, I would say the performance of this toilet is not bad. It was definitely better than I expected, because previously I had thought that these were bad performers. Maybe I just got some bad ones before, but this one is nice. So I'm impressed, and this is definitely not a bad toilet. So now let's move on to the flush tests. For the first flush test, because it's a singular, let's see how it flushes with a dry bowl. This toilet is already using a little bit less water than it should, so I'm not really expecting it to do well, but I still think it will siphon. It flushes better than it did when I got it, and that's really honestly shameful. If you remember the first video, it barely had enough water to siphon. Now let's see how it flushes with a clogged siphon jet. Honestly, it could go either way. I don't know, so let's find out. It was impressive how long that swirled before it gurgled. Usually it gurgles like halfway through, then continues swirling, and then gurgles once again at the end. That was odd. Now let's see if it can take dirt. It doesn't really have to rinse very much off the sides because the water line is so high. So let's see how it does. I'm guessing that the bowl clearance will be a little less than preferable because of the short flush. Not bad. Let's see the rinse. Looks pretty good for the right side. Up here, it actually is not terrible. This side isn't bad either. It definitely didn't do perfect, but perfect is very hard to achieve. So I think it's definitely usable. It definitely is usable. So my overall opinion of this toilet is that it's pretty good. The previous generation was better, and the generation after this was better, but this one isn't bad at all. And I honestly was a little bit too hard on these in the past because I had that one that just wasn't very good. So I'm going to give this another flush and get the rest of the dirt out and then wrap it up. That is all for this video. If you enjoy my videos, please subscribe and turn on notifications. It helps my channel a lot and I really appreciate it. Thanks for watching, and see you guys in the next video.